Hi guys, how are you today? I'm getting an early start today. I think this is about the earliest I've gone live, but we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about Wendy Williams and how her situation is just getting worse. Then we're going to talk about Candiace Dillard saying that she will not return to the Real Housewives of Potomac if Monique comes back. Like, who are you to threaten someone? And then we're going to talk about and start out with this Tim Norman situation. Okay, so Tim Norman, if you are not familiar with him, used to date Jennifer Williams. He also had a TV show with his mother, Miss Robbie. She used to sing for Ike Turner. She's an older woman. I believe she's in her 70s, like or something like that. But according to TMZ, this just blows my mind. If you watch the show, it's a family show. They own a restaurant. They own restaurants all over. According to TMZ, and TMZ, you guys, they know what they're talking about. They get the good scoop. That Tim was behind. I don't know if I could say this word.
The death.
Great. Tim was responsible for the death of his nephew, Andre. He was on the show. He was the one that Miss Robbie wanted to make sure that he had a good life, so he came to stay with her. According to TMZ, he is responsible for the death because he took a life insurance policy out on him for $450,000. I'm shook, people. I don't know what to say. We always know that he was a little selfish on the show. Janae has been going around saying that he's a selfish person. He has not seen his child, little TJ, in 4 years. And she was saying he's not the person that we think we see. Even with all of that being said, I'm shook. Here's Andre, you guys. Oh, V, what do you have to say? I don't even know what to say.
I'm actually still in shock because, I mean, of all the things I've seen him do over the years, and I was one of those diehard fans. I watched that show until they just took it off because I love Miss Robbie and the whole family, and so I'm just in shock right now. I don't even know what to say because how hurt the whole family was when they lost Andre.
Oh
And then
God, you're
he
bringing
was
back
right there.
memories. It was
Yeah,
devastating.
he was
Yeah.
right there playing along with it as if he was just as hurt. Little did we know or even suspect that this would ever come about.
I hear about this stuff on the ID channel. You know, we read about it. This is just, what do you have to say, Perry? Oh
Yeah, no, I
God.
think it's crazy. Like V said, like when you watch the show and you can see selfish parts of him, and it's not like it's his first time going to jail.
That's
Okay,
right.
but so I just say give it to him. He come out and do whatever, and you think because he put this persona on that he's trying to do this, and he can come across immature a lot of times, but you would never think a person would actually do something like this to a family member. Not, I mean, is your life? Are you so caught up in your life like that where you go and it's a plan? Because why would he be taking a $450,000 life insurance person out on anybody when
Yeah.
he's not even taking it out for himself, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then 2 years later, all this go down, and he knows it's damaged the family with this. How can somebody be so cruel? You know what I'm saying, to do this to anybody, a family member or anybody, but it's just in life you see all this stuff happening, and it's just a weird thing how it just shows you how devious and just I mean, I don't
Twisted.
know. I don't really know how to explain his thing, but
I have to drop down for a minute. Hold on. You guys
okay.
keep talking.
Yeah, but I just think that it's just a crazy thing. Like for him to actually come out, pay somebody to do these kind of things, set somebody up just for money. And he's already on a TV show. whether you're not making it or not, whatever. Just like everybody else, we have to work a regular job.
Mhm.
But for a person to get that selfish and caught up that they would do anything for money,
Mhm.
it's a damn shame.
Miss Robbie, I mean, I went through this with them, with that family when this was airing on their show was airing on TV, and he knows how Miss Robbie brought Andre to try to give him a better life and to try to help him out so that he could do something with his life. He sat there and watched how hurt his family was. I mean, they were devastated when they lost Andre, and he sat there and watched them go through that. I mean, I can't, I'm at a loss for words.
No, I mean, actually, D, when I seen it, I was like, okay, well, when I first seen it, when it said for hire, you know what I'm saying? I don't
Mhm.
want to say the word, but then I was like, because I know he'd been disputing with his baby mama. That was
Yes,
my first. That
yes.
was my first thought. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Just as maybe crossed my mind. But for him to actually get involved in something like that, I mean, and I'm sure they got enough proof somewhere if
Mhm.
they already done did all this for him. So I mean, I'm not accusing him. Yeah, he got his day in court.
Right.
But if things plan out the way, I mean, allegedly go the way what he's been accused of,
Mhm.
that is a shame. And it's
What do you
sad.
mean what he's being accused of? I mean, you have to have evidence before you even arrest anyone. I get what you're saying, Perry, but for me, they wouldn't have arrested him if there was no evidence.
No, I get it.
So according to TMZ, it was Tim and this woman. Let me see her name again. I'm going to say Terica. Maybe that's how you pronounce it. Terica Ellis were in on the plot. So, and both of them were arrested. This is too detailed for there to be any way of him not doing this. I mean, this is detailed. I mean, you got the insurance policy. You've got, I don't know. I get what you're saying. I just think he's just
Oh yeah, no. I get what you're saying too. The bottom line is this: I'm just saying because until your day in court is you can have people saying, "Well, I don't believe this." I mean, but everybody got a belief, either
Mhm.
innocent or guilty.
I mean, they don't even arrest you until they have evidence. So
Right, but yeah, I mean, then people say people have been arrested and got off.
yeah, well, that's
So
true. Yeah,
I'm
I
just
got you.
saying this, and I think when you start talking about insurance policies, you know what? It's really bad. Like he is so into himself, and this is Perry talking. And if the way I see things right now is that your mom is trying to help a kid out, get his life together. And
Not a kid, your
A
family
family
member.
member.
yeah,
Family member.
right. And then
Yeah.
he's supposed to have been a mentor to him too. You remember back in that
Yeah,
story?
oh gosh, that's
Yeah.
right.
But when somebody is that into themselves like that and just worried about just self-greed, it's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And if he did it and all this, he deserved what he get. I'm telling you, I mean, that's something you don't do.
You
Mhm.
I mean,
are devastated, Perry. I could tell you are just like all of us, everybody. We cannot believe that you are just that despicable. And I could picture it now that I know what's going on. Do you guys remember he kept opening restaurants and trying to bankrupt people, him and Miss Robbie, by making stupid decisions?
mhm.
What is
That's
just
what That's what I was saying too. That showed signs of selfishness when he was opening restaurants after she had spoke to him and told him, "Stop doing this. Don't open restaurants without talking to me and letting me know. This is my business." And he just went off on his own, started opening restaurants until he almost bankrupted her and she had to take him to court. I'm
Mhm.
saying, how selfish can you be? And then he stopped talking to her like she did something to him,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm going to finish up these other stories so we can drop the line because I know people want to talk about this. This is just, I don't
Unheard of.
know.
It's messed up.
So if you guys remember, maybe last week, I had a guest on the show and we were talking about Wendy Williams and how she's not recovering well from the divorce and how she may be suffering from side effects from drug abuse. I believe someone said that they thought that maybe she had holes in her head. I guess if you do enough of the white powder, I got to be careful for the words, it puts
Like
holes
dementia,
in it.
the first
Yeah,
stage of
stuff like
Alzheimer's and stuff like that.
that. Okay, so and we know she's just not there. Yesterday, she posted this for her son saying happy birthday. This is just the weirdest. Let me
Birthday
see.
card ever.
Okay, so this is what she posted to her son to say happy birthday. But people are calling this posting quite bizarre and strange. You've
What am
got,
I looking at?
I know, okay, so you've got a shoe. Here's a shoe. Here's baby hair. Here's hair. Here is a picture of a. Here's a picture of a sonogram, the fetus. This looks like garlic, the garlic cloves. Um, It's just bizarre. More hair over here.
Mm.
It looked like a shrine or something. It's like something, you know, that you would do just in memory of a person.
People are calling it a shrine. Other people are saying it's just bizarre. Look, just her condition is getting worse. And what I'm afraid of, you guys, is that we all know that drugs do cause brain damage. But if you guys are in the comments section and you know this, can you reverse it? What do you think, V? Can you reverse the brain damage?
No, you can't. I mean, your brain has so many cells. I mean, I ain't no doctor or nothing, but it's like when you start getting dementia, it happens to most people at like an older age anyway. When you start your brain cells start to die out, they call it white matter or whatever. Like I said, I ain't no doctor. I'm just giving you just a brief thing of it. But typically, it just happens when you get older. But if you start doing other things, it can make it happen way faster. Yeah.
This is absolutely.
I mean, if she's having some type of mental brain damage or whatever, early signs of Alzheimer's or something, I'm saying usually that kind of stuff cannot be reversed. Even if it stabilizes for a while, most of the time it just goes from bad to worse. So
I mean, I'm understand when it's dead. I think it's called microvascular brain disease. It's when you start getting all these white, you know, it's like your brain, and then when you get all the dead cells there, they call it. I think it's microvascular brain disease. But
it's hard to watch. It's getting very hard to watch, and it's just. I just.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, and it's almost like she's having a breakdown.
Yeah.
it's like
I mean,
not even a breakdown. She's losing her mind. That's
what I mean. I mean, like when people just get like that, I think for a birthday, I think it'll be more upbeat. This is like something like that you would do at somebody's final day.
It's like a shrine.
Yeah.
It's very creepy. Let me take this phone call, you guys. And hi, Amy. Sound off.
Oh, hey guys. I mean, I'm gonna talk about Wendy, but I want to get to the Tim situation. I literally went back and watched the video when they had the memorial on the show. And I always wondered, why didn't Tim go? Why wasn't Tim there?
Wait, he wasn't there? I can't remember the show. I watched it. Was he there for
He wasn't at the memorial when they had the little, like when they had different people from.
Oh no, really?
And Charles had a total breakdown. He was screaming and crying. And I always wondered, even Janae was there, and they weren't together, but everyone showed up for this memorial service to kind of commemorate Andre, and he wasn't there. And now when you go back and think about it, I'm like, he wasn't there because he knew he did it.
Wow.
He killed him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it just makes me so sad because everyone in that room was heartbroken. And to think that the whole time you did that for $450, not saying I don't know. I'm just like, but to think about it in that way and know that it came down to $450,000, that just makes me so sad.
Doesn't it bother you too to know that he watched his family go through that grief. And I mean, Aunt Robbie was really broke down about this because she didn't understand who could have wanted to harm him like that. And you sit there and you watch the family go through the grief like that, and you know he had to be watching them too, and then to know all the time that he was guilty.
That just hurts me every time. I mean, I watched the clip and I was like, I always wondered, where was Tim at? Was he working that day? And I'm thinking he purposely just never showed up because he didn't want to be in the room knowing that he caused this pain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Exactly.
God.
Y'all know I'm a sensitive person. It just brings me to tears. Who does what the hell? Some people don't. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
he's
disturbing.
proven to be the most selfish person that you've ever met because all the time the show was on, you could see him, and whatever the outcome was, it was always leaning toward his way and what he wanted. You know, his
He
mom put
deserves
up
to
with
burn
him.
in hell for this. Sorry, V. Go ahead.
His mom put up with him because she loves him so much, but he
Mm.
was very selfish on the show. You could see that it was all about him and what he wanted and who he wanted and when he wanted to do something. So, you know, I'm surprised, but not surprised.
And
Yeah.
then let's remember, he never had anything. He came out of prison. Miss Robbie gave him that chance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not like he built something and felt like he was losing it. He just took over. Somebody helped him out, and he was unappreciative. And then the greed just kicked in, and he just kept going and going because everything was about him. I mean,
It became about. I think the show really. But it was a good look for the family, but for him, I think he had so many different things he wanted for himself. He just went. It just became a steroid.
I mean,
It
but
became
listen, Amy,
uncontrollable.
we all have wants. Everybody has goals and things that you want.
Yes.
But to take somebody else's life, you don't have that right. It just,
No.
I'm sad and pissed off at the same time. Do you guys remember how old Andre was? He was just in the beginning of his life. How old was he? Do you guys remember?
I was going to say about
But they
20
said-
or something around there.
I think he was 21. He wasn't past
Yeah.
Real early 20s. Yeah.
He was still a kid.
Amy, stay on the line. I'll bring you back and we can talk about Wendy, but I want to
Okay.
keep this conversation about Tim going. Hold
Okay,
on.
thank you.
Carla. Oh my gosh.
No worries.
None. I have no words. This is somebody who's clearly sick, who clearly has some issues deep within. This is a person who has no regard for human life whatsoever.
None.
This is a person who's just willing to go get it at any cost.
No matter what.
And no matter what the repercussions are. And it's just so sick that people would do this to the very person that took their time out to feed you when you didn't have nothing. Don't they say never bite the hand that feeds you?
Yeah.
Does anybody know this is just a question, what he was in prison for?
I can't remember.
Was it drugs?
I thought it was drug trafficking.
Drugs. Yeah, it was drugs. It was drugs.
Oh, okay. I was just curious because he's just so self-centered. I just wondered what got him in prison.
I don't know. I mean, for me, I just think to take a kid's life is just. To take a kid's life is ridiculous, and I mean, that's just messed up.
Carla, stay on the line. I want more people to talk about Tim. I'm gonna let them talk. Okay. Hi, Kashmir. Sound off.
Hi. Andre was 18.
Oh my.
Wow.
18.
Yeah. He had just graduated high school because my daughter graduated high school like the same year. And we used to watch the show all the time. And not only did Tim, is accused of this, but if you watched the show faithfully, you would see that Tim also had problems with employees as time went on because payroll wasn't going through and different little things. And he was also not charged with assault for assault an employee, but the cops did come and there was assault type of things going on with that. So there's been all kind of problems circulating in the background as far as Tim is concerned, even from relationships to employees. So it's just a lot, and it's sad overall because think of how Miss Robbie is feeling because she brought Andre to live with them from Texas to keep
Yeah.
him away from the things he may have been getting into, being a
And
teenager. So
Andre was her son that got his life taken away. So she had to deal with her son losing her son and now losing his son. It's
yes,
Which is what, Tim's brother?
yeah,
yes, his oldest brother.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
now, it's a full circle of you lose your son and Tim goes to jail for whatever he did, and then your grandson, and then losing Tim again. So can you imagine,
Mm.
Miss Robbie?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Stay
Wow.
on the line, Kashmir. I'm gonna bring you back to talk about Wendy.
Okay.
Amy, sound off about Wendy.
Okay. I think I don't know with Wendy. I just feel like the pandemic has caused all of us to have some type of stress and depression. But I feel like whatever she already had, it has magnified, and she's like on a different level. And I just hopefully she can get through it because being alone is not easy. But she's much older, and she just went through a divorce. I just feel kind of sad for her to see that. I hope she has people who reach out and just still see how she's doing, check on her.
Mhm.
I
It's
really
something.
think, Amy, that this is beyond being lonely. This is what this is.
It's a cry for help to me.
No,
I
no.
hope
I
people
think
come see her.
I think it's beyond fixing. I
Mm.
think that whatever's going on, if it's dementia, if it's loneliness, if it's heartbreak, sometimes it could get so bad, heartbreak, that it's beyond repair.
Yeah.
That's, and I don't know if I'm exaggerating here. That's just how I feel. I think that
But we kind of seen
Wendy,
it happening during the show before the pandemic. It started to, certain things were just not clicking. She wasn't on her mark, and I just kind of looked at it like, well, it's gonna take her some time to get it together. But I feel like the pandemic has made it, whatever it is, 10 times worse. Because
it's sad to
now
watch.
your regular routine is not going on. You don't get to go outside. You don't get
That
to,
could be true
you
though.
know,
Yeah, you don't have anything to take your mind off the heartbreak.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Which
You're
So
right.
that's I feel like it's like a implosion, and now it's like we see this now, and I'm like, I hope whoever is her handlers or whoever's dealing with her, they can go and help, like just go get her some treatment. Because if it's dementia, they need to get on her some medication, or if it's something else, they need to start working on it now. Because I don't see Wendy coming back after this.
I don't
Just
see her
watching.
coming back. I
I
have a
agree with
question. Does anybody before you guys, does anyone know if you have dementia, can it be fixed?
you. It
No,
can't be
it's
fixed.
not reversible. It just
Mm-mm.
gets progressively worse, and then you eventually gets Alzheimer's and you pass. But
Yeah.
that's why I said, like, if whatever it is,
Hmm.
someone needs to step in. Like right now, I don't think she's gonna be. I kept thinking, well, maybe after the pandemic, Wendy's gonna be back. I don't see it. I don't see it for her at this
Yeah.
point.
I don't see her coming back. Stay on the line, Amy. Let me bring someone else on. This is a hi, Andrew. Sound off.
I think I really love Wendy, and this really pains me to say. I just feel that so much has happened to her psychologically. And then, of course, putting this pandemic in front of her, she just can't. I think she responds well to a studio audience praising her. I think she responds well to having the attention on her and in a good way, not in a bad way. So when the negative attention is put on her, or maybe like, did you see what she did with John Oliver?
No, what happened?
So her and John, she like kind of almost befriended John Oliver because like John Oliver used one of her clips of like her eating caviar off a Dorito, and like that was when you could see that Wendy was happy when someone who was a little bit more well known than her in like the media sense acknowledged her and used her and used her show as a giving it a platform. It made her get new members, if that make like get new watchers, get new viewers, get more people paying attention. But that can only work for maybe 2 weeks, and then it goes down, and then she had to find a way to reinvent herself, which you can only reinvent yourself so many times, especially, I mean, after what happened to her with the divorce and everything that Kelvin put her through. I mean, and the drug problem. I just look at Wendy and I pity her. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's
It's
true.
hard to watch. I agree with you. It's yeah, it's just I don't know. It's sad. And me personally, I don't think she could be fixed. What about you, Andrew? Do you think she could be fixed?
I don't think she could be fixed at all. I think the psychological damage that's happened to her over the many years has just been too great for her. And I think if she could maybe go on if we were not in a pandemic, but putting the pandemic in place where we're seeing her little kooky apartment, and there's nothing wrong with that, but seeing that part of her life that, I mean, I felt like she was almost trying to hide that it was very
bizarre.
It was dark in there, wasn't it? Her apartment. It was so gloomy and dark. It made me sad when I would watch it. I was like, there's no light, there's no windows open. I mean, geez, that to have to be in that type of atmosphere where she was at least used to getting out and going to work and getting around other people, and now she's sitting there in the dark, gloomy apartment. That has an effect, whether you know it or not.
Yes, the first sign of depression, I tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you guys, I'm going to have to cut this short. I'm really having an asthma attack right now. So I'm sorry, I got to cut it short. Maybe I'll come back later live and we can keep talking about it. But I got to go try to control this. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I got to get off now.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk